All right, welcome back to the Misfortunate Bastards saga. So, down in the dark, deep beneath the city of Cauldron, our heroes just scored a huge win. They took down a vampire. But, victory is never that simple. In this chapter, we're going to see that even when you kill a monster, its shadow can stick around for a long, long time. Let's dive right in.
So yeah, taking out the vampire lord Drakthar, that was absolutely massive. But it wasn't a clean win. Not by a long shot. They managed to dodge his fangs, sure, but the swarms of vermin he commanded, well, they left a nasty little parting gift. A disgusting disease that's now clinging to pretty much everyone. It's like a curse they can't shake.
So just try to imagine this for a second. You're exhausted, you're covered in grime and blood, and on top of all that, you're sick. Really sick. That's the state the bastards are in as they start the long, miserable climb out of the vampire's pit. They're just dragging themselves through these dark, twisting caverns. Every single step is a struggle, and the only thing keeping them going is the hope of seeing sunlight again, all while this nasty vampire magic just festers inside them.
And just when they finally crawl out of the dungeon's gloom and into the bathhouse, the first taste of safety they've had in a while, the air starts to shimmer. A portal, glowing with this eerie crimson light, just rips itself open right in front of them. And of course, it's an unwelcome message. Their secret bosses, the Red Claw Guild, have a new job. Because of course they do. No rest for the wicked, right?
And man, the timing is just terrible. Absolutely awful. The first message comes through, and it's this huge, urgent mission. Go hunt a rising cult way out east. The pay is great, the cause is just, but the party can barely stand, let alone travel across the continent. But wait, there's more. Just moments later, another portal pops open, and this time it spits out a magic stone with updated orders. Actually, scratch that. Clear out Cauldron first. You've got about a week. I mean, what kind of management is this? Talk about getting your wires crossed.
Okay, so with their orders kind of sorted out, the party does the only sensible thing they can. Priority number 1, get rid of this vampire disease. They march right over to the Church of St. Cuthbert, and thankfully, the high priest there is able to work some divine magic and just purge the sickness from their bodies. Finally, feeling human again, they cash in their loot, buy a ton of new potions and gear, and get ready to head back down into the darkness one last time.
So, with their health back and their spirits high, it's time to go back to work. They descend back into those caverns, and this time, they have a specific target, a chamber they skipped before, one that's home to a bunch of deadly shock lizards. But the easy way is blocked. They've got to take a back route, a terrifyingly narrow path with nothing but a sheer drop into blackness on one side. You can just feel the tension cranking up.
We're talking a ledge that is barely 3 feet wide. It's insane. Indy, being the nimble rogue, she goes first, roped up for safety. But just as she's getting close to the chamber entrance, bam, she's spotted. And these aren't your run-of-the-mill goblins. These guys are well-armed, well-armored, and one of them just lets loose with a blast of magical fire.
And just like that, everything explodes into chaos. The blast sends Indy flying right off the ledge, leaving her dangling by the rope. Thinking fast, she just cuts herself free and tumbles to the ground below. Rothan sees this and wastes zero time. He slaps a spider climb spell on himself and starts scrambling up the sheer wall to flank them. Meanwhile, Garth, he just roars and charges, a force of nature, and smashes a goblin right off the ledge into the abyss. At the same time, August is loosing arrows, one after another, and takes down another goblin from a distance. Then a goblin splashes Garth with burning acid, but Meredith is right there, throwing up a magical shield that splits the damage, taking half the agonizing pain onto himself. Just an incredible team effort under fire.
But, of course, just when it looks like they're getting a handle on things, the noise of the fight attracts the chamber's main residents, the shock lizards. They come surging out, and suddenly arcs of pure electricity are jumping between them, crackling across the walls, turning the whole cavern into a lightning death trap. The fight becomes a desperate scramble for survival, until, finally, the last enemy is down.
Okay, they're battered, they're bruised, but they won, so they push on deeper into this complex. After a few empty rooms, they come to a door and hear angry shouting from inside. Indy gives it a quick check for traps. All clear. She gives Garth the nod, and he just kicks the door straight off its hinges. No knocking for these guys.
And inside, they catch 2 people completely by surprise. A tough-looking fighter and a sorceress, right in the middle of a heated argument. There's no time for talking. The fighter just lunges, and the sorceress, she screams, "You've chosen your final mistake!"
and just erupts with a storm of magic. Diplomacy? Yeah, that's not happening here.
And this fight isn't a slow buildup. It's a straight-up ambush. The sorceress is just spamming magic missiles, volley after volley. Garth, who's leading the charge, gets hit full force. He's blasted right off his feet, bleeding out, critically injured. Marith is scrambling just to keep him alive while everyone else is just trying to weather this absolute magical onslaught.
Things are looking really, really bad, but then Rothan sees his chance. He speaks a single powerful word of magic, and the sorceress just freezes solid, paralyzed right where she stands. It is an absolutely clutch, game-changing move. He just neutralized their biggest threat in an instant and gave the party the opening they were dying for.
With the sorceress locked down, the party makes quick work of the fighter. Then they turn their attention to her magical familiar. But the second that little creature goes down, something in the sorceress snaps. The paralysis breaks, but it's replaced by pure, uncontrollable rage. She fights like a cornered animal, with absolute fury, right up until her very last breath.
So, the fight is over. In the quiet aftermath, while they're searching the sorceress's things, they find more than just gold. They find a worn, tattered journal. And what's written in its pages? Well, it starts to paint a picture of what's really been going on down here, and it is way scarier than they thought.
The journal lays it all out. These guys weren't just hiding out in the tunnels. No, they were building an army, a secret mercenary army of half-orcs, right here under the city's feet. The journal doesn't say why, but let's be real. You don't train a secret army underneath a city for fun. You do it when you're planning to attack that city.
So they follow the clues in the journal, pushing into the last section of the complex. They run into what's left of the mercenary force, a dwarf leader and 6 half-orcs. But the fight is a joke. The dwarf takes one look at them and just bolts, and the half-orcs, who are clearly not well-trained or well-paid, basically just throw their weapons down and run. And that's when they find it, at the very back of the caverns, a tunnel. And it doesn't go deeper, it goes out. And that's when it all clicks. This whole place, this dungeon they've been fighting through, it was never just a lair for monsters. It was a secret highway, a hidden artery leading from the wild mountainside right into the guts of Cauldron. It's the perfect backdoor for an invasion.
So the Misfortunate Bastards are just standing there, at the mouth of this secret tunnel, looking out at the city lights in the distance. And suddenly, it all makes a terrible kind of sense. The goblins, the vampire, this mercenary army, it was all either a distraction or just the first wave. The city's defenses are completely worthless now. They've been bypassed. The question isn't if an invasion is coming anymore. The real question is, has it already started?